Welcome back to the Bluechip Breakdown, Vols fans. I'm your host, Bull. And in today's video, we're going to be breaking down the film of Justin Baker, three-star running back commit out of Buford High School in Buford, Georgia. Listed at 5'10", 205 pounds. He's a player that I've got to see very closely these past couple of seasons, and he's a dog. He's rocked up. Looks like he's already physically ready to come into an SEC room. His running backs coach and Coach Davis actually coached at Douglas High School, which is where Jamal Lewis went. You can see some similarities in Justin Baker's game, just as far as the way that he runs with that toughness. And we're about to jump into the film here in just a second, but let's take a look at his profile. You can see all the offers that he had from some Power 5 schools. Obviously, Alabama stands out, Auburn. He had every single SEC school coming after him, and that always tells the tale of, is this player really a blue chip caliber guy? Also, you can see right here with some of his accolades, he's a track guy, okay? He does have good top end speed, especially for a running back, but his short area quickness is what we're really going to be getting into in this film. He also played behind Justice Haynes, who was a 5-star that ended up going on to Alabama. And I think he's going to have a breakout season coming up in 2025. Hopefully not versus our Vols though, but Justin Baker most definitely has seen what it looks like to be a Power 5 SEC type of a running back, type of a player, playing in the highest classification in Georgia, coming from Buford, which is probably the best football program in Georgia. He sees SEC caliber talent every single week. I say it all the time. 7A or whatever the highest classification is in the state of Georgia is like the SEC of high school football. It's just nonstop, always going to be good players. So he's going to come in ready, but let's go ahead and jump into his film. All right, so first play right here, what we're going to see is Justin Baker go right up through the middle, and boom. Number one thing, right? We do this a lot at Tennessee. Being able to get skinny and being able to get through these holes, and boom, okay, second level. We're, taking a look at what his vision looks like. He sees the field very well, and he's going to break over here to the outside. He works to the sideline well. He runs to green grass. Now watch this, boom, sets this block up really well. And again, he's getting skinny. That's that short area quickness that we heard Coach Sims talking about. He's able to run through this tackle, and he's got the speed to finish. We talked about him being a track guy. He's got deceptive speed, okay? He is probably, like a low 4.5 to, maybe like a high 4.4 type of a guy, but really good speed, and he is a home run threat. And on this play, we're going to take a look at Justin Baker just kind of going out here to the flats, and he sees that his quarterback is in trouble, and he's being savvy, right? He's being a football player. He works on up the field. His quarterback's able to find him for a big first down catch, and we also see that he does have good hands. So that's important, man. I mean, running backs have to have good hands, especially in our system. I love what I see so far. All right, now let's see what he does on this play. We're letting this thing roll. Okay, so a little bit of a delay. Boom. Okay, so presses up to the line of scrimmage, finds his hole, and he finds it quickly. He does a really good job with his patience and then with his burst. So he sees this lane right here, and he's going to burst through it, and watch what he does. Boom, bursts through it, breaks through a tackle. And at this point, he's one-on-one with maybe like a safety or some type of a secondary player. And this kid's going to make a business decision. As we talked about, Justin Baker's got good size, especially once you get up on him. He's rocked up. And I think that this safety said, I don't know if I really want to make this tackle. But that is what Justin Baker can bring to a team, to a program. And again, he is a home run threat. All right, next play. Let's see what we got. Okay, boom. First thing that I'm noticing, if you look at this line of scrimmage, everyone's moving this way. This is a zone play. And with these zone plays, what you're going to do is you're going to press up to the line of scrimmage, and then you're going to find a crease, find a hole, right? You can kind of pick and choose where you're going to go. And Justin Baker finds it quickly as usual. Okay, we saw that before. Boom, look at that. That's a nice hole, and he explodes through it. We do this so much in our system, and it's important that he's already well-versed in being able to do this. And then I love this, right? Make a man miss in the open field. We haven't seen that a lot out of our running backs here recently. A lot of them have kind of just been, straight up and down, straight vertical runners, especially a guy like Jalen Wright. I think that Dylan Sampson does a good job at making people miss, but we're seeing it, boom, okay, making people miss out in the open field and then finishing with that speed, setting his blocks up well at the same time. Beautiful work. Boom, next play. Okay, we've got a kind of a heavy box, got a blitz coming in. This is really nice because you can see all the traffic around Justin in the backfield, and you see his his angle that he's taking, but he puts his foot in the dirt and kind of gets up the field here. Watch this, boom, explodes through, and then does a great job of continuing to work to the outside while all that green grass is really at. We see all of the muck over here to the inside, but Justin works to the outside after making, a man miss. He kind of ran through an arm tackle right here. He does run really hard. And again, man, he's got good speed to be able to finish and close in the end zone. All right, so on this next play, we're going to see Justin Baker work to the outside right here. Boom. Okay, so we can see this is a perfect pausing spot. Gonna work kind of, out here to the outside, but he's gonna find that crease. He's gonna put his foot in the dirt. He ain't afraid to go in between those tackles. You got to be able to do that in the SEC. And look at him kind of just running through all the muck. And again, working back to the outside, setting up blocks well. He has great vision and he falls forward. This is something that I love about him. Watch this right here at the end. Okay, he knows that he's going to end up getting tackled because someone's got an angle on him, but he dives forward and gets those extra yards. That's the difference between winning and losing games. It's the difference between getting a first down, and it could be a really big first down, but he's a player that you can trust to get these little extra yards. That's a huge, huge deal for running backs, especially in the SEC. All right, and right here, we're going to see just the easy little counter play, sets his blocks up well, and again, he runs to the pylon, runs to the green grass, and he scores a touchdown. Really good speed. He's going to be a problem in the red zone because of his vision, because of his burst, his short area quickness, making people miss at the line of scrimmage, and he also has really good hands. He's a great blocker as well. Love his film so far. All right, so we see where Justin Baker is. Got the motion coming across. Now, pitch play, okay, boom. People are all over him at the line of scrimmage. Buford's offensive line wasn't that great this past season, but we're seeing Justin Baker still able to make people miss. There's two people back here. He makes both of them miss, and, he falls forward again. Tough yardage. You cannot overstate how important it is to be able to get tough yardage as a running back. All right, so on this play, we're a little front right there. That's like a 3-5 or something like that that defense is playing. But look at the way that the, blocking is set up at this point. Justin Baker, again, he's trying to find his hole. But what I love about him is that you see running backs doing this, and sometimes they take too long, but he does a really good job of just doing it quick. Finds it, boom, I'm up the field right now. Okay, that's something that Coach Davis preaches. Okay, I've been there, whenever he's coaching up the running backs at Buford, and he's big on that, man. You got to get up the field right now, and he does it. And again, man, look at that. Legs keep on churning, falls forward. That's beautiful work. All right, so we're going to see another stretch play on this one. And the difference between this and the first one that we saw earlier in the film is, watch this. Okay, so he's stretching, pressing to the line of scrimmage. What do we talk about? He's got to find that crease. But he, already sees, hey, there's a lot of green grass out here. So instead of going inside like he did on the last one, he just takes it onto the outside, makes a man miss at the line of scrimmage. That's 2, 3. So, he's able to use his speed, use his short area quickness and burst to create some extra space. And I mean, I love the way he sets his blocks up and, just the way that he uses his blockers. Watch this, okay? So boom, right? So he's got a blocker over here to the outside, and as he's kind of running through a tackle right here, he's got a guy with the angle on him. He's got a guy with the angle on him. He does a really good job of just bursting through these little lanes and falling forward every single time. I love it. All right, so we've got a heavier box on defense with this one. But, you have to be able to run on these heavy boxes sometimes. So we're going to see what Justin Baker does right here. Look at that. There's not a whole lot of room to run, right? But you see he's fighting already. He's like, I got to get through here. And then he finally finds it, right? He finally finds that crease. We're going to go back through. Okay, it's mucked all up, but he finally finds that crease. Makes a man miss, again, comes through all that muck, and he's able to make a man miss right here in the open field. And, just trucks a guy, runs right through him, gets that extra yard or two. So important, so critical. Just absolutely gorgeous work by Justin so far. All right, and we're going to have something kind of similar on this play, okay? There's not a whole lot of room to run. You see that there's a lot of people on this side of the line of scrimmage, on the offensive side of the line of scrimmage, which means that the blocking wasn't great. But look at this. He's still making people miss inside of a phone booth, works to the outside, uses that speed, makes a couple more people miss, and falls forward. That's a first down play, but that's a big first down play. He created a lot of what we just saw right there as far as production goes. And on to the next play. Let's see what he does right here. This one, okay, coming back up to the middle. Same thing, right? People all over him. It's not a whole lot of room necessarily for him to run. Now, does a great job of getting skinny and exploding through the hole. He's going to work kind of to the outside, but then he decides, well, I'm just going to keep on falling forward and just get the yardage that I can. So that is excellent work by Justin Baker. Let's go back. Okay, boom, making people miss. Right there, finishes it strong. Okay, people are feeling him whenever they have to tackle him. All right, so this is the last play right here. And you see that that box is getting loaded up a lot more, and that's a lot better as far as blocking goes. Let's see what he does with some good blocks. Beautiful, man. I mean, he just follows his blocks to a T. I mean, this is textbook what a running back is supposed to look like. He's getting what's there and then some, falling forward for the extra yards. Love his film. All right, so now for Justin's grade, starting off with toughness and physicality. Kind of cheating here because I have seen him, work throughout pretty much every facet of their season last year. And I can tell you right now that he's a dog. He's very tough, but you're seeing it in his film as well. We talked about it a lot, falling forward, making the people who are trying to tackle him pay, right? I mean, he's going to run with some violence. He finishes his runs with violence. And, he's very tough as far as just being a good blocker as well. He does what it takes to win a football game and to, bring something to his team, to the program that he's at. I'm going to give him 5 stars right here on toughness and physicality. All right, now for Justin's athlete grade. He's a really good athlete. We know that he's a track guy. We're seeing that great burst. He's got good straight line speed as well. He makes people miss out in the open field, and he makes them miss inside of a phone booth. He's got a good stiff arm, okay, really strong, really good balance. And I'm going to give him 4 stars right here in this category. I think that his 40 is probably somewhere around a low 4.5 to a higher 4.4, which is really good for a running back. So he gets 4 stars in his athlete grade. All right, so we've got 2 new categories at the end. The first one, which I think is probably going to be the most important for a running back, is what do you do with what's there? We've seen that Justin Baker does a phenomenal job with what's there. Usually he's actually getting more than what is there. His offensive line wasn't great. We kind of touched on that, but he's making people miss at the line of scrimmage. He's always falling forward. He sets his blocks up really well, which, kind of helps him to get extra yardage in a play that, maybe could have been stuffed out for 2 to 3 yards. He ends up getting 7, 8, 9, 10 yards, and sometimes he's scoring. So in this category, I'm going to give Justin Baker 5 stars. And the last category is going to be a playmaker. How often is Justin Baker making plays? So it's kind of similar to the previous one, but this is more about, really getting those first downs and getting those home runs. Justin Baker does a great job of this. We saw this earlier in this film where, his quarterback was in some trouble and Justin Baker is able to find an open lane and, get himself open for his quarterback to throw the football to him, gets a first down. And that was a huge play in that game. He does it several times, throughout the course of a game as well, just in running that football. We're seeing that he's using his vision, setting things up really well, and he is a home run threat. He's got good straight line speed. I'm going to give him 4 stars as a playmaker. All right, now to recap on Justin's grades, we gave him 5 stars on toughness and physicality, 4 stars as an athlete, 5 stars in his what's given grade, and he got 4 stars as a playmaker, which brings his overall blue chip grade to 4 stars. This is where I think he's going to end up at, going into the 2025 season, whenever it's all said and done. He's going to have a very productive year, I believe, coming up in 2024 because his offensive line will be upgraded. So his numbers will also be upgraded. And, a lot of these analysts are going to be falling in love with Justin Baker, but I love what he can bring to our team. Very similar in what we've seen, with our running backs. As long as Coach Heupel has been up in Knoxville, he's got about the same size, as far as height goes. I think he's going to come in a little bit heavier than most of them did. So his upside, his ceiling is probably going to be a little bit higher as well. He's a really fast player. He can make people miss. Okay, he's a really good blocker. That's something that we've talked about a lot on this channel. How good are these running backs going to block? Well, I've seen him firsthand, and he picks up blocks tremendously. He also played defense some in high school. He was a great, linebacker. So he just has that dog. He's just an all-around really good player. He's a great guy off the field as well. And I think that he is going to provide a big-time spark to our roster in the 2025 class. So that's it for Justin Baker. Thank y'all for staying all the way to the end. Please make sure to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and we'll see y'all on the next one. Thanks. Peace.